Welcome to this video tutorial on quick handrail creation in Rhino 7. I've got this curvy floor plate we're going to be using here, and I've created a line around the edge of this floor plate which we're going to be making our handrail with. Now I'm working in millimeters in this file, and we're going to start by just zooming in and using the offset command, just by typing in offset and offsetting this line 50 millimeters towards the inside of my floor plate. With that offsetted line, I'm then going to use the pipe tool here to create a kind of pipe around this line to create our handrail, and we're going to give this a radius of 25 millimeters and hit enter once we've typed that in. Now that our handrail is created, we're now going to move this into position just by selecting that handrail, selecting the move tool here, locking it in the vertical axis, picking a point on the edge of my curve, and then moving this up by 1.1 meters or 1100 millimeters, like so. Now we've created the top part of our handrail, we're now going to create the railings that go along here. Before I make these, I'm just going to drop a single point anywhere on my offsetted line there, which is going to help when making these railings. Now we're going to be using the cylinder tool for this, and we're going to start by making a thinner railing, where we're going to use that point as a starting place, and we're just going to give a railing with a radius of 10 millimeters, and then the height matching my handrail there. Now before I array this, I'm just going to make this into a block. Using the block command, pick the base point as that single point we made, and then just call this rail 01, like so. We're now going to use the ArrayCrv tool to array this along my curve. I'm going to select that railing object, hit enter, and select my offsetted curve. Now for these I want a distance of around 100 millimeters, so I just hit the distance in the command line, type in 100, and that gives me roughly the number of items which will array along at that distance. Now, because I actually want the spacing to be equal and I don't know the total length of my line, instead of using the distance, I'm actually going to divide it by an equal number of items. So I'm going to click on the items here, and I'm actually going to make it a slightly more round number, which will help us when adding detail later on. So we're going to do it 1030 railings there that I can divide quite easily by 10. Hit enter and hit enter again, and that will divide our line across. So there we've got 1030 railings going across this object. Now because we've made this a block, we can now start to edit this railing, and we're going to add a little bit more detail in. So I'm going to select this first railing, type in BlockEdit, and we're just going to take off the bottom 200 millimeters of this railing, just using a box here, setting it at a height of 200 mil, and then using the Boolean difference tool to subtract that box from my railing, like so. And when I hit OK, all of my other railings will follow that because they're a block. Now what we can do is I'm going to make a slightly thicker rail here, just by using the cylinder tool again, snapping to that original point that I made, like so, and giving this a radius of 15 mil this time. Then we'll connect it up to our top line. Here we're going to make this a block again as well, use that point as the base point, and we'll just call this rail 02 there. Now this time with this railing, we're going to use the array function again, select our railing and select our curve, but instead of 1030 items, I'm actually just going to do 103 items. So it's 10 divided by 10, that number. So we're going to have a railing every 10, which is slightly bigger. Now if I hit enter, there, you'll see now we've got this rhythm of our railings. We've got every 10, we've got a slightly thicker piece. Just to finish this off, we're going to just create the bottom part of this railing just by using the original curve, using that pipe command again, but this time we'll do a slightly thinner diameter of 15 and hit enter there, and then we can move this up by 200 millimeters, or you can just snap from the top line to this one to create the bottom half of our railing. And there we have a complete equally spaced set of railings across our floor plate in under sort of 5 minutes. So I hope you found that video useful. Thanks for watching.